Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Words of Wisdom. My name is Toastmaster Madhura, and with me is Toastmaster Raghavan. And today we have a special travel based episode of Words of Wisdom aligned with our theme of the month, travel and humor. Today we are in conversation with a Toastmaster who is an avid traveler. He is an enthusiastic marathoner and has a zest for self-development. Apart from traveling, he's also passionate about humanitarian work. He believes in the cause of providing education to the underprivileged and has been a part of many projects such as the Apprenticeship Project, Teach for India, the Robin Hood Army, and has also served as the Vice President of the IGET. He is a mechanical engineer by qualification and has completed his MTech from VJTI. He is also one of the chartered members of the VJTI Toastmasters. A Toastmaster from past 4 years. He also has explored several clubs across various districts. And apart from exploring clubs, he's traveled across India over several years and has explored and experienced its rich cultural heritage. And to share with us his learning of the same, we welcome Toastmaster Deepak Chavan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Madhura, for the wonderful introduction.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepak. We are glad to have you on the Words of Wisdom. Toastmaster Raghavan, would you like to ask Toastmaster Deepak the first question?
Yeah, Toastmaster Deepak, how did your passion for travel originate? How did you start this habit of traveling between places? And do you have any particular favorite city? And if you have one, what appeals the most in that place? What do you love in that place?
Yeah, it is a wonderful question related to travel, which is one of my, it's towards heart. The traveling journey, I would say that my dad is in paramilitary. So every 4 years, we do change places. So starting from Chennai, then back to Goa, then Goa to Tamil Nadu to Hyderabad to Rajasthan to Maharashtra, then Bangalore, right now in Karnataka. So I have traveled around west and the southern part of India. So my dad is in paramilitary, so every 4 years we do change places and we associate for at least for 1 year, 2 year, depends upon the the period in which we stay that in particular period. So that is the one thing where I got into passionate towards the traveling. So wherever I go, I learn that language. So when I went in Tamil Nadu, I don't have any language. I didn't know about how to speak to them. But when I stayed for long 4 years, I got into it and I still speak Tamil and watch Tamil movies. Then I went to Hyderabad. Again, it is my mom's place where my mother was born and I was also born. So this is the place where I love and I go multiple times. It is in Hyderabad, the heart, which we call as a Pearl City of India, where there are a lot of places, monuments, which is very close to my heart. I have been there for at least for 10 years. I go and travel there. So in the previous month also, I was in Hyderabad. So there are places like Ramoji Film City, which is one of the oldest, biggest film city in Asia. One that is. Second is the Birla Planetarium, Birla Mandir. Then is Snow World. There is also Golconda Fort. There is again is the Charminar. So there are multiple places which I have visited not once, a couple of times with my family, friends, and together, which is close to my heart. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepak. It was fascinating learning about your travel experiences and its origin. And since you have extensively traveled so many places and you were fortunate enough to experience them so closely for such a long time, what would you recommend is the best way to experience a place or a city you travel to?
A good question, Toastmaster Madhura. So first and the foremost thing I go, and wherever I go, the first and foremost is to see the surroundings, exactly where I am, what they speak, how they speak it, and what is the values associated with that particular city and the place. That is the foremost thing. And the second thing, of course, the food and the places which are monuments, which are like temples or masjid or Sikhs, and also which the our ancestors as the kings were there at home, like we call it a Rajwada and all stuff. So that is one thing which I used to go and learn about them, why they have built it, why they have kept it, and what is that fascinating thing we are learning it. So one of the foremost learnings which I see is some, like when we were in the schools, we used to travel, right? We in the schools, the kids and the teachers used to go for a trip for one day and go around and see what exactly it is, like museums, which is beautifully the architecture and all the forefathers which we have, they are safely kept, and they keep on telling the coming kids for the whole how they did it. So that is the most important part which I see. And the fourth important point is, as my dad is in paramilitary, so he always keeps on and tells and we meet each other. He keeps on like he goes to his friends and family, we have get together, learn from them, and they tell something like go there and there, so we get references where we can travel it, because we are new to that place, right? So we don't know exactly what is the importance of that place, so they give references and we traveled around. So that is one fourth thing which I would suggest everyone, if you go there, travel a bit. And one more fifth point, which is most important point, not going for a 1 or 2 day, I would say at least minimum of 7 days you can travel to the particular city and stay there and learn from it. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. I hope you would have built a lot of memories while you travel. So out of those memories, what is the best memory that you had while you travel? Can you just pick up a journey and say, wow, this was great for me? What was that one moment?
Yeah, that one moment was, I was in 8th standard and my dad got transferred to Rajasthan Kota, and I was traveling from Hyderabad to Kota. It was a 2.5 day journey, and it was in the month of August. So the whole bogie, no one was there. It's only me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. There were only 4 people, and it was fascinating because it was a long journey, and seeing the beauties starting from Hyderabad, then going to Madhya Pradesh, where the hills, then the waterfalls, the snows, then going into the Rajasthan, where it is a desert area, then traveling and then reaching the Kota. So it's a beautiful journey where I loved, and it was the first time which I have traveled in the whole life, that long journey, and the mesmerizing, and also noting down. So I have a habit of writing a bit when I was in school standards. So I used to write it, what is the different which I have done today, or saw something different. So that are the lessons. And also once the people come in that train or a coach, and try to ask them questions, why are you traveling it, what is that makes you travel? So these are the curious questions, asking them and learning from them. So it's the peer-to-peer learning process from the people of India.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepak. That was very insightful, I must say. And as you mentioned earlier, you have visited various landmarks and historical monuments apart from experiencing the city. So the kind of cultural heritage you have explored is very extensive. So can you highlight any special aspects that you noticed about the cultural heritage of India?
Yeah, so I would say that, which is I started from Chennai. So Chennai is called as a city of temples, where we have a lot of temples around it. So my father is a religious person, so he used to take me and go to that thing. two temples. So I would learn about it. What is the different about temple, the structure? I still know that I'm also part of engineering background. So right now, whatever they have built 1,000 years before, and it is still there. And right now, what we are building, it is not there for at least for 20 years. So that is the one thing which we as this modern era, which we call gram generation, to learn about is about it. So that is the second the values which I have taken from that state, which is Tamil Nadu. So, and also they are very beautiful and like down to earth. Like modesty is the highest at highest. Whatever they do with the simplicity. Even if you travel southern part of India, they don't have much. They don't say about it, or they show off like I have this kind of thing. It's a modesty at the highest level. That is the simplicity which I have learned in southern part of India. It is Karnataka and Tamil Nadu and Telangana. So these three states which I have found is very beautifully modesty, and the values which they have from the ancestors, they are following it further and further and teaching their kids the importance of their values in the family.
Thanks, Toastmaster Deepak. See, the last 3 months you would have really got held up due to this lockdown, right? You couldn't have traveled much. Last few months were really tough on us. The last 1 year has been a totally virtual world. So once this lockdown ends, what is that one particular place that you would like to visit and see? Which would be the momentous place that you would like to go once the lockdown ends?
Yeah, I totally agree with Toastmaster Raghavan. Like, it has been frustrated, a person who is very travel enthusiastic and being in one room and just being it for the whole 1.5 years. So recently, which was one thing, like after 8 months, so I was planning a bit to go to Goa, but it at last didn't execute it, but went for Mahabaleshwar. But after that first wave, right now we are in the second wave. The foremost which I have in my list is to go on a drive, which is with my best friend, bike drive from Leh to Ladakh. So that is the foremost thing which I'm still waiting for it to go it. Yeah.
Enchanting journey, right? Leh to Ladakh.
Yeah, enchanting. Like, I've done for one time, again the second time, because of the whole gap. It has been 5 years. I went on 2015. I went, and right now it is after 6 years. I will be going.
Wow, that's superb. And if I were to give you one place that you would have to visit in this world, I give you infinite resources and one place that you would love to visit in this world. Which is that one place?
I would go to Estonia. That is the one place, because so that is very close to art, and I didn't went. So that is one of the bucket list which I have in. So that is one of the beautiful place I want to visit.
Wow, that's great, and that's rare. If we have a couple of more, I just would like to stretch this session. What's so special about Estonia?
One thing is and one thing is like there are like 90% of atheists, to be honest, and the second is the education which they have, the education, how they built up it, and it is a small country which have more about speaking with it. So there is one small story I would like to tell about that Estonia is they have a parks where there is no instruments. So there is only a bench where there are multiple benches, like 20 benches apart. So there is no instruments of like seesaw kind of thing. So you need to sit, and what happens, there are like maximum age about is like 70 plus. So the average age is like more than 70. So the people of kids come there and learn from them the lessons. We call like grandmas and grandfathers stories, right? So it is not night stories, it is like day stories in the evening. So that lessons which we have, so that connectedness is there in Estonia, and the beautiful places that I would like to visit. Yeah.
There is certain
that's so
is it similar to human library concept?
Yeah, It is similar to human library, but in human library has some something which has their objective in hand. But in other part of it, they don't have objective. It's about only the normal people sharing their experiences of life, like all 60 years what they have spent in it. And human library, what happens? They have specific role which they have done. Like it might be one of the defectives or dyslexia or super challenge. So they have gone through it. So they are telling about, so this may happen. So this is how I came out of it. So that is the difference between both of them.
That's superb. That's really great. A different place, totally a different place to visit.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I will, even after this interview, I will connect to you a bit of more about that place that you would like to see. It was great talking to you, Toastmaster Deepak. It was a wonderful session on travel. We got to learn a lot on travel and how to approach travel. It was a really good session and really good talking to you. What would be your one message for Toastmasters who would like to be would like to travel?
Yeah, the message for Toastmasters and particularly Mullen Toastmasters is to. There's a quote by John Brucher, which I every time whenever I travel I say it and I preach it also. Don't buy things, buy experience that makes happy, cheerful, and blissful.
Wow. That's superb. That's really superb. But don't buy things, buy experiences that makes happiness and brings happiness and cheerfulness to you. Really great, Toastmaster Deepak. Very nice talking to you. We really enjoyed this session. Hope you too enjoyed this session. Thanks for the experience and a great time we had with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Madhura and Toastmaster Raghav, and also giving that opportunity to share my story related to traveling. Over to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in the next episode of Words of Wisdom.